I'm Sarah Borkson-Keto here in New York for REIT Week 2019, NAREIT's Investor Conference. I'm joined today by Richard Stockton, President and CEO of Braemar Hotels and Resorts. Welcome, Richard.
Hi, good afternoon.
So looking across the luxury hotel sector, what are you seeing in terms of supply and demand trends?
Yeah, we're in a very interesting time in the lodging cycle, but also the economic cycle right now. And I call it the 2% world. We've got 2% interest rates, we have 2% inflation, we have 2% GDP growth. And in lodging, we've got 2% RevPAR growth forecasted, 2% supply, 2% lodging demand growth. So what we're seeing on the supply side is very muted demand. It's in line with historical averages. I think the industry, in many ways, has reached an equilibrium. We've got occupancy around 66%, which is the highest point that we've seen across the industry, similar for the luxury sector. So I don't feel overly concerned about supply. I think supply is one of the things that gets you into trouble in the lodging cycle when you have indiscriminate lending by banks. Banks are being very disciplined now. And the cost of debt is very cheap, but they're being very disciplined in terms of the types of projects that they'll finance and also the amount of debt they'll provide to the projects. So I feel very comfortable with where we are. I think we'll continue to move forward and be profitable as an industry. This isn't a point in time where we expect extraordinary growth, but we're also not trying to factor in any major downside scenarios.
And looking out for the rest of the year, what are your plans in terms of capital allocation?
So right now the company is at our target leverage, which is 45% net debt to gross assets. We certainly have a desire to continue to grow the business through external acquisitions. At the moment, there's a couple of things happening. One is the market for new hotel assets is very challenging in that the pricing expectations we're seeing in the market are higher than would allow us to generate what we would consider reasonable returns for the risk. So we're not seeing a great number of actionable opportunities. And on the other hand, the equity markets have been volatile this year, partially just driven by what's happening in the political sphere. And that makes it challenging for us as a REIT who would seek to raise equity capital in order to pursue acquisitions that are attractive. So for now and for this year, we're very focused on investment in opportunities within our own portfolio. So we're converting 2 properties from a Courtyard brand to the Autograph Collection by Marriott. There's one in Philadelphia, one in San Francisco, investing $50 million in aggregate to generate hopefully a 20% unlevered IRR by mining that opportunity within our portfolio. And then we're also very excited by the end of the year to have reopened the Ritz-Carlton in St. Thomas, which we had closed as a result of Hurricane Irma. And that property will reemerge as a brand new product, all new guest rooms, meeting space, food and beverage outlets, a new family pool. It's going to be a very exciting property, the best property in the U.S. Virgin Islands, in a market where we've actually seen supply contraction. Because the hurricane, many hotels haven't reopened and some won't. So we're seeing the lodging stock at 65% of what it was, so down 35%. And that's a great environment for us to open up a new property and really take advantage of that unique market position.
And talking of new properties, the Notary Hotel is opening in Philadelphia this summer. Can you talk about the appeal of that property in that market and how it all fits into your strategy?
Yeah, this is one of our conversions. And this property is going to be an Autograph Collection property. And as part of the Autograph Collection by Marriott, each property comes up with its own brand and identity. And for the Philadelphia property, we've chosen the name the Notary Hotel, which reflects on the history of the building it sits in. So we own a building that was built in 1926, directly across the street from City Hall in Philadelphia, that used to house the old notarial services for the city. And so now when you'll walk into this renovated property, you'll see elements of architecture that reflect on that history and legacy. But on the other hand, it'll be very modern and very sleek and very inviting for guests. So that's a property that we'll be completing this month. It'll come onto the reservation system in July as the Notary Hotel. We'll have a big grand opening party in August, and I'll have even more updates by then.
Great, Richard, thank you so much.
Okay, thank you.
And for more on REIT Week 2019, be sure to visit REIT.com.